Welcome to Inside the Built Environment, where insight meets oversight. Today, we're tackling a question that's haunted many builders, homeowners, and contractors. Why did my permit get rejected? So, is the reviewer even reading my plans? Spoiler alert, yes, they are. So, let's take a look at the top reasons why permits get bounced back and how to avoid that dreaded resubmittal. Let's start with the usual suspects. Missing information. I once got a plan submittal where the site plan was just a screenshot from Google Earth with the note that said, close enough. It was not close enough. Another one is code violations. Think of code like gravity. You can't just wish it didn't apply. Undersized headers, missing devices, wrong setbacks, it all matters. Another usual suspect is wrong license or none at all. And if the scope for the work calls for a licensed electrician and you submit Uncle Ray as the contractor, remember, the reviewer is going to have a problem. Another usual suspect is vague plans. A napkin sketch might work for a pizza oven, but it does not work for a second story addition. Last but not least are zoning issues. Even if the building is safe and sound, designed perfectly, if it's not in the appropriate zoning district, when you're trying to open a nail salon, for instance, but you're in an area that does not allow for a business, that's a different kind of issue. So what are plan reviewers looking for? Here's what we're scanning for when we open your submittal besides looking for that caffeine. We're looking for complete drawings, the floor plans, the elevations, the structural details. If a mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is involved, we're looking for those layouts. They're labeled, they're clear, and to scale. We're looking for code compliance. If the plan shows a staircase with no handrail, because the homeowner, for instance, may be athletic, we're sending it back. We're looking for a defined scope. We need to understand exactly what you're doing, where and how. And here's something important to remember. No one knows the project better than you. Not the reviewer, not the inspector, not the permit tech. The purpose of the application is to explain the project clearly enough that someone who's never seen the job site before can understand what's going on and confirm that it meets the code. We only see the plans for a short period of time. If something's missing or unclear, we won't assume what it is that you meant. We'll assume it needs to be corrected. That's why a clean, complete, and detailed plan is your best friend. It sets the tone for the entire project. So the next section that I want to go into are tips to get approved faster. Do you want to avoid the rejected stamp? Let's try this. Use the municipality's checklist. It's not just bureaucracy, it's an actual cheat sheet for success. Most cities will have this. Schedule a pre-submittal meeting. One quick chat can save 3 weeks of emails, revisions, and caffeine-fueled frustrations. Organize your files. Make sure the files are in a good order. Submit them appropriately in the PDF or however format that is being requested, and make the reviewer nervous that things look correct. Use the right pros. If you're submitting for a commercial kitchen and your designer's portfolio is mostly tree houses, you might want to reconsider who you're using. Here's a real world story I have for you. Let me share another one that comes up more often than you think. A contractor submitted some plans for a small commercial remodel, nothing major, new interior walls, some upgraded lighting, and reconfiguring a few restrooms. The plans look good on paper, but they left out one key detail: the occupancy change. Turns out the previous tenant was an office. The new one is a nail salon. Totally different use, different plumbing loads, different ventilation, and even different accessibility requirements. But the permit application did not mention any of that, just that it was a remodel. So the permit got rejected and the contractor was frustrated. But it wasn't because the work was bad. It was because they didn't explain what the project actually was. And what's the lesson here? Always tell the full story. If you're changing the use of a space, upgrading equipment, or altering the capacity, please spell it out. What seems obvious to you might not be as obvious to a reviewer looking at 5 dozen plans that day. So permitting doesn't have to feel like a mystery wrapped in red tape. Submit clear, code-compliant, and complete plans. Use the checklist. Ask questions early. And please don't send a Google or a screenshot and hope for the best. If this helped, hit like and subscribe. And for more insights from the field, drop your funniest permit rejection story in the comments, and maybe I'll feature it in a future episode. Until next time, build smart and build safe.